Yo, what's up guys, this is IHSGames here, and today I created the best patch note known to Monsters and Mortals with all new systems, mechanics, and even a better progression system. Now, you might be wondering why I created this whole thing. Well, for starters, if you haven't seen my Monsters and Mortals is Dying video, go check it out for further context. Second, this video is more of a concept I want to show to the developers of the game, aka Glowstick, to not only make the game more engaging, but add depth to the game without changing the way the game plays entirely. Alright, let's go. With this new patch, let's just pretend it's real for the sake of it. If you click on the store, rather than seeing two bare-bone Gashapon machines, I changed the whole store from a gacha store to a catalog store. The reason for this is to not only add more options to buy stuff in the store, but honestly, no one wants to grind for shards and roll for a skin they never wanted, and even worse, they can't even see. Plus, it looks nicer in catalog form anyways. You can see a feature slot which will show new characters, skins, as well as DLCs, a character slot which is entirely new, a skin slot, and a perk card slot which is a whole thing of its own. And yes, we still kept the Gashapon machines, but they will work entirely differently from the ones we have currently. But first, let's start with the character slot. The character slot will show you all of the current characters within the game, from the characters you own to new characters to DLC. But the reason why this slot exists is to add some sort of grinding to the game. Right now, all base game characters that are added are usually free, and that's nice and all, but it's always a better feeling to know that you work your butt off to get enough points to get a character. It gives them that exclusivity as well as rewards the player for actually playing the game frequently enough to get enough points to buy a character. Plus, with having to grind for these characters, it keeps players playing the game more since they actually have something to work for other than what we got currently. If you bought all the skins, nothing. Choosing a character will show their model fully. Yes, the character slot also works as a model viewer as well. You can also see what franchise, team, or DLC they belong to, their class, their ultimate, extra lore, as well as the price of the character. The lore was added in just to add more depth to the characters rather than making them bare-bone 3D models you battle with. Moving on from the character slot, we have the perk cards. We're skipping the skins cause pretty much it's similar to the character slot, just with skins instead. The perk slot is an entirely new mechanic to Monsters and Mortals, but it's not so new to the point that it changes the way the game plays entirely, only amplifies it. How do these perk cards work? Well, unlike Dead by Daylight perks, these perks do not affect how the character is played, though we do have something a bit similar. These cards will affect the environment and how a single match is played. Some cards allow boss time to pop up in the beginning of a match, while others turn portal boxes into traps by forcing players who run into them to become corrupted for 5 seconds. Some are triggerable in the middle of the match. Overall, the possibilities of these cards are endless. By buying these cards, you get to change the way a match is played entirely, as well as other players. These cards do come in 3 different categories: Monster, Neutral, and Mortal. Monster cards are only specific for monsters and cannot be drawn by a mortal player. Same vice versa, though neutral cards are the only cards where both parties can draw. If you're curious about the different prices of the cards, well, some cards are more powerful than others, which require more shards to purchase. If you want more information on the cards, clicking on one will show not only what it does, but its category and point value. Okay, don't get it confused here. Point value isn't currency. It's a way to balance the cards so they won't be overpowered. Essentially, everyone has 6 points for the perk slots, which equals a 2-point average for every one slot, and there's 3 of them. So, math. Basically, if you have 3 weak cards, which are worth 1 point, you can equip 3 weak cards, equaling up to 3 points. For moderate, it's 3 points, so you can equip 2 moderate cards, which equals up to 6 points. And for strong, it's 4 points, meaning you can only equip 1 strong card, but you can also mix and match. 1 moderate and 1 weak, 1 strong and 1 weak, 2 weak and 1 strong, and so on and so forth. This will make it to where players won't bring 3 strong cards every game, or a super strong card combination, because they either have to be right at or below the max point value. It seems complicated, but if you think about it, it's fairly simple. Some perk cards can be stacked with other players' perk cards, while others can't. If a player tries to equip a non-stackable card like Insta Boss Time with another player's Insta Boss Time, it would be repelled and sent back to the player's card inventory. These perk cards are also taken away from you at the end of every match, not only to limit players from bringing the same cards every game, but to give shards a reason to be used if you bought every character and every skin in the game. Basically, shards are not useless outside of the two things I mentioned. Plus, these cards will keep players playing since there is a huge incentive to actually grind for shards. These perks are not to be used to gain a huge advantage, but to make every match you play different from the other. We need more complexity in the game, and since these cards don't change the way the game is played entirely, I think it'll be perfect to implement into the base game. Moving on from that giant load, we have the Gashapon shop. Now, these will still work like the current slot machines in the game, but instead of skins and art, you can also earn perk cards as well. Still would be chosen by random chance though. You can earn these tokens by logging into the game every day, earning 1 token. Let's just say you don't have enough shards for a skin or a card, or just don't want to grind for them. These tokens are kind of like a get out of jail free card, but at the expense of random chance choosing for you. Now that we're done with the whole shop, let's move on to the character selection. I've changed up the character selection a lot to include all the functions you see on the screen. You can see the game's current mode, map, your current level, character level, timer, perk card select, character select, a new super select, we'll get into that one later, as well as a new function, being able to see your teammate's name, level, character level, what character they're playing, as well as what perk cards they have equipped. This function will not only allow players to synergize with their teammates, but limit players from not only choosing the same character, but non-stackable perks as well. The character select is where you'll be able to choose a character as well as a skin for them. You will also see information on their ultimates. Or, if you want, you can switch characters with the 2 little cool arrows on the side. And finally, but certainly not least, the supers select. Now, you might wonder, what are supers? Well, it's a new mechanic which allows you to choose the way you want to play a specific character. Like Murder Monkey. He has a super called Speed Dicer, which makes his ultimate focus on speed at the expense of nerfing his damage and ultimate duration. These supers aren't here to give you an advantage while playing the character, but much more of allowing you to choose how you want to play a character depending on what super you choose. You also aren't obligated to choose a super. You can deselect them and go with the regular ultimate. But as you can see, some supers are locked. But as you can see on top, they are unlockable. How? By leveling up that specific character, in this case Murder Monkey, by winning games, getting kills, or simply just by playing the character. Getting to a certain level will automatically unlock that super forever. Juice will also add more complexity to the game without changing the way the game is played entirely, as well as add a real progression system to the game that rewards the player for actually playing that character. If this was implemented into the game, which I hope it does, Glowstick, I hope you're watching, not every character will get 3 supers. Certain ultimates are hard to change without messing up the whole entire ultimate, so some characters will get 2, 1, hell, maybe even none. Yes, it will add some sort of level of inconsistency to the characters, but it will also make the game more fresh and fun, with certain characters having entirely new playstyles. And with that, that will be the end of this giant patch video. Man, this is too good. I start believing this was real my damn self. Anywho, the whole point of this video is to show Glowstick all the different concepts I made that can severely improve the game. So if you're watching this, please tag Glowstick on Twitter and tweet this video to them so they're more likely to see. And Glowstick, if you're watching this and maybe, just maybe consider one of my ideas good for the game, go for it. I don't need any credit. I just want fresh new things in this game to make it more fun and worthwhile to play. And if you don't consider anything in this video, it's fine. I'm just happy enough that I made this video, as it was very fun to make, and I might make more of them in the future. Anywho, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys like this video and want to see more of my content, you guys pretty much already know what to do. If you guys want to see more of me, go check out my socials. Links in the description. This is IHSGames, and I am out.